Hello everyone, welcome to LBS IAS Academy. Today we are going to discuss polity MCQs based on previous year UPSC questions. So let's start our session. Our first question is,
Rajya Sabha has equal powers with Lok Sabha in options are the matter of creating new All India services, amending the constitution, removal of the government, making cut motions. The answer to this question is option B, amending the constitution. Rajya Sabha has equal powers with Lok Sabha in introduction and passage of constitutional amendment bills. Hence, option B is correct. Rajya Sabha can authorize the parliament to create new All India services common to both the centre and states. So, matter of creating new All India services is the power of Rajya Sabha. Council of Ministers is collectively responsible only to the Lok Sabha. So, the removal of the government and making cut motions are the powers of Lok Sabha. So, her answer to this question is option B, amending the constitution. With reference to the funds under Member of Parliament Local Area Development Scheme, that is MPLADS, which of the following statements are correct? MPLADS funds must be used to create durable assets like physical infrastructure for health, education, etc. That is correct. A specified portion of each MP's fund must benefit SC/ST populations. That is correct. MPLADS funds are sanctioned on yearly basis and the unused funds cannot be carried forward to the next year. That is incorrect. The district authority must inspect at least 10% of all works under implementation every year. That is correct. Select the correct answer using the codes given below. Here answer to this question is option D. Statement 1, 2 and 4 are correct. Statement 2 is incorrect. MPLAD is a central sector scheme to enable MPs to recommend works of developmental nature with emphasis on the creation of durable community assets primarily in their constituencies. Recommendation by the MPs should be done annually with works costing at least 15% of the MPLAD's entitlements for areas inhabited by scheduled caste population and 7.5% for areas inhabited by the ST population. Each year, MP receives Rs 5 crore in 2 installments of 2.5 crore each. Funds under MPLADS are non-lapsable. The implementing agency should have the capability to execute the eligible work quantitatively, timely and satisfactorily. Hence, statement 1, 2 and 4 are correct. So, her answer to this question is option D. Which one of the following categories of fundamental rights incorporates protection against untouchability form of discrimination? Options are right against exploitation, right to freedom, right to constitutional remedies, right to equality. Here answer to this question is option D, right to equality. Right to equality mentioned under Article 14 to 18 of the Indian Constitution. Article 15 provides that no citizen shall be discriminated on grounds of only of religion, race, caste, sex or place of birth. Article 16 guarantees equality of opportunity in public employment. Article 17 abolishes untouchability. Article 18 abolishes the title. Hence, option 4 is correct. The answer to this question is option D, right to equality. With reference to Constitution of India, consider the following statements. Statements are, no High Court shall have the jurisdiction to declare any central law to be constitutionally invalid. That is incorrect. An amendment to the Constitution of India cannot be called into question by the Supreme Court of India. Incorrect. Which of the statements given above is or are correct? Here, answer to this question is option D. Neither 1 nor 2 of the statements are correct. The 42nd Constitutional Amendment attempted to curtail the power of judicial review of Supreme Court and High Court by excluding from their purview in matter of elections. However, the 43rd Constitutional Amendment restored the original position. High Court has the power to invalidate any central law which goes against the ethos of the Constitution. Similar is the case with Supreme Court. If any constitutional amendment goes against the basic structure of the Constitution, Supreme Court has the power to call it into question. In 2015, the Supreme Court declared both 99th Constitutional Amendment 2014 Act and the National Judicial Appointment Commission Act as unconstitutional and null and void. So, her answer to this question is option D. In the context of polity, which one of the following would you accept as the most appropriate definition of liberty? Options are protection against the tyranny of political rulers, absence of restraint, Opportunity to do whatever one's like, opportunity to develop oneself fully. Here answer to this question is option D, opportunity to develop oneself fully. Positive liberty means freedom with certain restrictions, which is necessary for the good of the society. These restraints are necessary so that everyone, irrespective of the caste, creed, gender, or any other societal factors which restrict a common man, could enjoy the liberty. Hence, the option D seems to be the most appropriate answer. Consider the following statements about particularly vulnerable tribal groups in India. Statements are: PVTGs reside in 18 states and 1 union territory. That is correct. A stagnant or declining population is one of the criteria for determining PVTG status. That is correct. There are 95 PVTGs officially notified in the country so far. That is incorrect. As per 2011 data, census data, there are 75 PVTGs in India. Irregular and Konda Reddy tribes are included in the list of PVTGs. That is correct. Which of the statements given above are correct? Here answer to this question is option C. Statement 1, 2 and 4 are correct and statement 3 is incorrect. During the fourth 5-year plan, a subcategory was created within scheduled tribes to identify the most vulnerable groups which were considered to be the lowest levels of development. As per census 2011, there are a total of 75 PVTGs out of 705 scheduled tribes spread over 18 states and 1 union territory. Hence, statement 1 is correct and statement 3 is incorrect. On the basis of the Debha Commission report, criteria for identifying PVTGs are pre-agricultural level of technology, low level of literacy, economic backwardness, and a declining or stagnant population. Hence, statement 2 is correct. Irregular from Tamil Nadu and Konda tribes from Andhra Pradesh and Telangana are included in the list of PVTGs. Hence, statement 4 is correct. So, here answer to this question is option C. Under which schedule of the Constitution of India can the transfer of tribal land to private parties for mining be declared null and void? Options are 3rd schedule, 5th schedule, 9th schedule, 12th schedule. The answer to this question is option D, 5th schedule. At the domestic level, the Constitution provides autonomy to tribal areas in matters of governance under 5th and 6th schedules, which is further fortified by Samadha vs. State of Andhra Pradesh judgment, where the Supreme Court declared that the transfer of tribal land to private parties for mining was null and void under the 5th schedule. The framework for protection of the rights of tribal and indigenous people is further strengthened by Recognition of Forest Right Act 2006, which protect the individual and community rights of tribal people in forest areas and their right to free and prior informed consent in the event of their displacement and resettlement. So, our answer to this question is option B. A British citizen staying in India cannot claim the right to. Options are freedom of trade and profession, equality before the law, protection of life and personal liberty, freedom of religion. The answer to this question is option A, freedom of trade and profession. Fundamental rights under Article 15, 16, 19, 29 and 30 are exclusive to the citizens of India. Here, freedom of trade and profession comes under Article 19, Clause 1, Subclause G. So, her answer to this question is option A. The Parliament can make any law for whole or any part of India for implementing international treaties with the consent of all states, with the consent of majority of states, with the consent of states concerned, without the consent of any state. The answer to this question is option D, without the consent of any state. Article 253 states that Parliament has the power to make any law for the whole or any part of the territory of India for implementing any treaty, agreement or convention with any other country or countries, or any decision made at any international conference, association or other body. So, Parliament can make any law for whole or any part of India for implementing international treaties without the consent of any state. So, the answer to this question is option D. A constitutional government by definition is a. Options are government by legislature, popular government, multi-party government, limited government. The answer to this question is option D, limited government. The core component of the constitutional government is the existence of a rule of law or a set of basic laws that binds both public office holders and all members of a society within a given territory. The constitutional government is a type of regime that is characterized by the fact that the government operates within the set of legal and institutional constraints that both limits its power and protects the individual liberty. So the answer to this question is option D, limited government.